Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay, this is my story. Okay, so you guys remember my story I told you about my personal experience about how my family pretty much just like blew up in my face when I was 15. So after that, I was like, no one's watching my back. Like, I went to a Catholic school, I went to Holy Trinity up until 7th grade, and I was always told that God's there, everything about God. And I was like, there is no God. Like, there's nobody watching my back, so how can I believe that there is a God, ever? So I was going through life thinking bad things were just happening to me, and that was it. So it was a really hot day, this past July actually, it was just in July. It was a really hot day in the summer, it was like 85 degrees. And my cousins live in Middlesex, New Jersey, and I live in Scotch Plains, so I was driving down the east side of 22. And you guys all know, at 5 o'clock on 22, what's there? Like millions of cars, right? Like traffic everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm driving along, like minding my own business, like just trying to get home, get in time for dinner. I'm all the way in the third lane. There's 3 lanes. I'm all the way like to the left side, like the farthest lane from the curb, from the side. I'm driving along. There's traffic everywhere, cars everywhere. You could barely switch lanes. And we're going like 60 miles per hour. Like usually at rush hour you're going like 45, but we were going like 60. So I'm going, and all of a sudden I look down for a second to switch the radio. And I look up, and the car in front of me, I see the brakes. It's at a complete stop. And I'm still going 60 miles per hour. So I swerve my car. With all my might, I swerve my car to the right to try avoid hitting this car. Once I avoided hitting that car, my car swerved into the middle lane, and was literally lost control. I could not control my car. It was going 60 miles per hour. Like, I was trying my hardest to like move the steering wheel to steady it out in the middle of the lanes, but it wouldn't. It was going back and forth in between the middle lane and the right lane. Back and forth at 60 miles per hour. My car literally was spinning around on 22, and at one point I just held my hands up, and I was just like thinking, like, there's literally nothing I can do right now. I've tried. This was all a matter of 10 seconds, by the way. All these thoughts are going through my head, and I was trying my hardest to try and steady out the car, but I couldn't. And then I just held my hands up, and I was like, you know what? I just have to accept the fact I'm going to either live or die. This is it. I'm going to crash because I cannot stop my car. The brakes locked. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't slow down, and I couldn't straighten out my car, so I was like, I'm going to crash somewhere. If I live, I live. If I die, I die. I was like, this is it. Like, there's nothing I can do. So finally my car went off the road, and it was in the grass, and it was going so fast, like 60 miles per hour. Like, my car would like not slow down no matter what I did. I was like trying so hard to press down on the brakes, like trying, and like nothing would work. So I'm going along, and my car like spins to the point where the front of my car hit the telephone pole in the center of the car, and the back part of my car was in the woods. My trunk completely fell off my car. My back windshield was shattered. My front car was completely like malfigured. Like, it was not a car. And as soon as it stopped, I opened my eyes, and I got up and sprinted out of my car and collapsed to the ground. And as soon as I ran out of my car first because I thought it was going to blow up, but I ran over and collapsed to the ground. I literally could not breathe. Like, I could not breathe. The amount of like the thoughts that were running through my head, the fact that I thought I was going to die, and just everything. All this stuff was happening, and I just didn't know what to do. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. It was 80 degrees. I was sweating. I was crying. I couldn't breathe. So then I just like kind of blacked out from like all of the shock. And I was just like sitting there like really woozy and like not able to breathe, like having a huge anxiety attack. And people were like running out of their cars to see if I'm okay, because if you looked at my car, you would see that the person in it was dead. Like, that's what you automatically assumed. So people are like, hello, like, are you okay? Like, trying to ask me what my name was. I could not speak. The officer arrives on scene, was asking me questions. Are you okay? What happened? I couldn't speak. The person that came to me first, her name was Linda. She was like my guardian angel. She got a cloth and like a bottle of water, and she was patting my head and my back, just like rubbing me, saying it's going to be okay, everything's going to be all right, because it was obvious I was in like so much distress. So she went in my ice contacts on my phone, which is in case of emergency, called my mom, And my mom called my uncle, who was really like 10 minutes away from me. And he called my aunt, who was on her way home, who was able to come. She was like, I literally just passed that, like, because he called and said Becca's been in an accident. I'm not sure what's going on. And she was like, I literally just passed it. Like, she had no idea it was my car, but she literally just passed the accident. She saw all the cars piling up and all the traffic. So she ran over. The ambulance was there, and she literally fell to the ground because she thought I was dead. By the looks of my car, there's no way I survived. So she finally gets to the ambulance and sees that I'm actually okay and everything. Although my car was completely just, like, it was a mess, it wasn't even a car anymore, the only injury I had from that accident was because of my seatbelt. I had a huge bruise on my neck because of my seatbelt. That saved my life. And you're wondering why I believe in God now, why that made me believe in God. Because through that whole thing, not only was it rush hour, I did not hit another car. No other cars were hit in that accident when I was weaving in and out of the lanes. No other car was hurt, nobody else was hurt, and literally the only thing that was wrong with me was a bruise from my seatbelt. And literally if my car turned just like the slightest like different way, that angle, my head would have hit the telephone pole and I would have died instantly. Because of the amount of pressure I would have hit into the telephone pole. So, because of that event, it changed my life forever. Like, I'll never ever take things for granted again, because I literally, like, in a second, I thought I was going to die. Any other way, and I would have. But I'm very grateful for still being here today and having another chance. And although something crazy happened, it really helped me improve my beliefs and everything. And that's it, guys.